Smart.
In that case, you should ask Master Man Chong for advice.
Intuitive.
Something isn't right here.
Explosions.
True art is... an explosion!
In this episode, we analyze the great guardian of Hefei Castle, Man Chong. Hope you enjoy. Man Chong was an officer and politician of Wei. He was known for his courageous and prudent personality who assisted Cao Ren at Fan Castle and, like I mentioned in the intro, strengthened Hefei's castle defenses and was known as the Great Guardian of Hefei Castle. Now, before his playable Dynasty Warriors appearance, he was a generic NPC, non-playable character since its third installment. But in Dynasty Warriors 9, he finally gets the ability to become a playable character. Now let's let Dynasty Warriors 9 introduce Man Chong.
Master Man Chong, are you busy at the moment?
Man Chong. He was a brilliant tactician, skilled in various strategies and setting traps. He also served as a government official when he was younger. Later on, he went to serve Cao Cao after noticing the numerous talented officers within his ranks. It was not long before an incident requiring his services arose. Cao Cao's father, Cao Song, was killed by an officer under Tao Qiang of Shu Province. Shortly thereafter, a plan to ensnare Tao Qiang was circling about in Man Chong's head.
Man Chong was a tactician and strategist of the Wei Kingdom and was brought into the service of the Wei Kingdom by Guo Jia and Shun Yo. They both take him and Shun Wu, who was also new at the time, to go meet Cao Cao.
So you are the tacticians brought to me by Shun Yu and Guo Jia.
My name is Man Chong. My specialty lies in designing traps for castles and general defensive preparations. I am honored to make your acquaintance.
I see. My army currently has nobody like either of you within its ranks.
So that's the reason I started off by saying Man Chong was smart. He's a really deep thinker. He's a really smart guy.
Fine, I'll figure out a way to get the cash myself. I'm a smart guy.
Peter, no you're not.
Don't you feel ridiculous now?
And he's always coming up with ideas and strategies that involved helping helping the Wei Kingdom win the battle. And it always involves a trap. If it's a defense, if it's a lure, it's always something trap related because that is his specialty.
Of course he must deal with the coward Tao Qiang. You can make your move and cause him to think you wish to talk. At the same time, you place an army behind him.
It's a trap!
So that was the first time Man Chong actually suggested a strategy, and it involved luring out the enemy and then surrounding them with, an army and then taking them down, making them surrender, or, killing them. But eventually Man Chong and all the strategists that the Wei Kingdom acquires up to the Battle of Chibi, which is one of the most famous naval battles that occurred during this time, nobody on their team, nobody on the Wei Kingdom saw the attack or the plan from the master strategist known as Zhuge Liang, which actually led to Man Chong being put into one major cutscene.
Fire! The ship is burning! The fire is spreading!
No, it can't be. You cannot carry out a plan like this, based on the sudden change of the wind.
Was everything they did up to now simply a preparation for this flame attack?
Can't be. Then, you think the enemy knew about this wind, and that's why they used a fire attack?
Zhou Yu. No. Zhuge Liang. This fire will leave a bitter taste.
Alright, so the Battle of Chibi ends, and all the strategists, Man Chong included, he's in his head thinking, like, how did I not see this coming? How did they anticipate the wind change? Nobody took him to the the fact that, Zhuge Liang has some quote-unquote magical abilities to make the wind. Of course, it's a fictional game based on history, loosely based on history, so Zhuge Liang changed the direction of the wind, and it helped push the fireboat into the massive naval army that the Wei Kingdom had, and nobody saw it coming because the wind was going in the opposite direction. So they're all bummed out about that. Man Chong's story from that point on is pretty minuscule. Not too many big things happen for him until the Battle of Fan Castle, which historically he actually participates in and helps Cao Ren secure the castle and defeat the god of war during the time, known as Guan Yu.
Yu's advance is even faster than I anticipated. We are allied with Wu to take him down, but they may try to back out depending on how the battle goes. We must prevent that from happening at all costs. Our first step should be to make it easier for them to take Jianlin, so they're encouraged to make a move.
Which also led to Man Chong having his second major cutscene within his story.
I can't believe General Eugene would just surrender like that.
What on earth is going to happen to us? If this keeps up, we'll die of starvation or even illness. It might be easier if we just drowned ourselves.
They are all falling apart out there. There is no sense losing troops for no reason. I could end this by surrendering myself.
Now just wait a moment. Master Cao Ren, I think that might be a little premature.
Man Chong, tell me, do you have a plan?
Yes, I believe there's one thing we can do.
What is that?
That is to not give up. You must believe that our reinforcements will come, and that we'll continue to fight. What do you think? Perhaps it's not original, but I do believe it's achievable.
I cannot believe that I almost lost sight of that.
Now, let us find a way out of this.
Listen! We must keep our spirits high! If we stay focused and work together, we will overcome even this!
Alright, so Man Chong's second cutscene involved Fan Castle. You saw the troops there were famished and basically left out to dry. They had no reinforcements, no food. They were all low on morale, basically, giving up, basically. And so was Cao Ren, who was actually the leader of the entire army. He was supposed to be the main general. And Man Chong comes in, inspires him. He's got a little pep in his step there.
I'm Man Chong,
and I'm looking forward to help you put more pep in your step.
And inspires not only Cao Ren, but the entire troops that were part of the Fan Castle, and actually inspired them long enough to where Xu Huang, who, by the way, Man Chong is credited with recruiting to the Wei army. He was speaking to Xu Huang as he arrived with reinforcements.
I have come with reinforcements.
Alright, so Xu Huang arrives with reinforcements, and eventually the Wu team, or the red team, also comes and helps them slay Guan Yu at the Battle of Fan Castle, which ends up making them victorious. And then Man Chong doesn't really have any more significant battles until the Battle of Hefei again. So that's why it's the new Hefei Castle and not the old one, because the old one takes place way before this one. So new Hefei Castle is built basically by Man Chong. He puts all the traps in. All the defensive units are formed the way he wants to. It is basically his baby. That is what this is what he was known for. That's why he was known as the great guardian of New Hefei Castle, because even like some of the older games like Dynasty Warriors 3 and Dynasty Warriors 6, getting through New Hefei Castle was always really tough because it had siege machines and juggernauts and this rotating floor that would throw you off the thing and put, you jump into the water and you had to run back all the way up there to get through the gate. It was always tough to get through the New Hefei Castle, and Man Chong is the guy, the genius behind the castle.
reports, Sun Quan is leading an army of 100,000 men here to New Perfect Castle. Clearly they are desperate after being unable to secure a victory at Shiting. It will only be a matter of time before they surround us here.
Retreat is surely the best way to save the lives of our men.
That will prove to be problematic for us, to say the least. That is why we must defend this land no matter what.
That is...
Furthermore, from the fire attack at Chibi to the fake defection at Shiting, Wu has caused nothing but trouble recently. I cannot sit back and let them do as they please. Do you not wish to fight back and avenge our recent losses? This castle has undergone many repairs to help bolster its defenses. Its men are also well trained in the art of defending it from the enemy. As such, it should be easy enough for us to make our move while they buy us some time.
So the preparations for New Hefei Castle have been made. Sun Quan, the leader of the red team, is on his way with 100,000 people, which is way more than Man Chong is commanding at the Battle of New Fei. He might have been commanding it. In some of the games, Cao Cao is there. In other games, it's Cao Pi. Whoever's commanding it, they don't have as many people as the red team is coming with, but they are able to hold them off due to Man Chong's design and the way the castle has been built with the traps, and all the troops that are there at the castle are trained to fight with the castle and use the traps to their advantage and all that stuff. So they end up winning the Battle of Hefei. The guy he's talking to is Zhuge Dan. He's a member of the Jin Dynasty, actually. When Sima Yi takes over, Zhuge Dan was actually part of the Jin Dynasty, and the girl he was talking to was Jin Zhen Ying, which was another character that I've already analyzed. She's also part of the Jin Dynasty, and in that video I don't understand why. I mean, her story was completely no Jin at all. I mean, it was all Wei. Anyway, battle happens, New Hefei Castle is defended successfully, and Man Chong's story comes to an end.
We have avenged our defeat at the hands of Wu. I feel as if a great weight has been lifted off of our shoulders.
Incredible to overcome such a deficit in troop numbers and claim victory. Your courage and strategic brilliance will be spoken of for generations, Master Man Chong. I am simply in awe of the great guardian of New Perfei Castle.
I think I can handle Perfei's defenses on my own. I want you to return to Luo Yang and report our victory.
Man Chong used his traps and strategies to defeat Sun Quan and his men. The new castle at Perfei that he designed turned aside the massive Wu army like it was nothing. The name of Man Chong was deeply etched into Sun Quan's heart. Despite his great achievements, Man Chong retained his natural sense of curiosity. He continued to devote himself to developing new strategies and ruses. Those that watched him saw constant glee and wonder on his face.
This trap is based on one of those designed by Zhuge Liang. It will still confuse the enemy troops, but I've improved it.
Oh.
And please do not touch any of the walls. I don't want the traps to be triggered accidentally.
Ah, all right. I will be careful.
I've carefully planned out the pathways. Once they get a ways in, they will never find a way out.
With this complex path and all of your clever traps, the Wu forces won't stand a chance. However, how are we supposed to get out of here?
Well, I want to try to find the weakness in my design. So I brought you here to see if you can escape.
Fine. I shall do all I can to find the holes in your masterpiece.
I'm looking forward to that. I'd love to see you solve this maze, for the sake of our own futures as well.
Alright, so Man Chong's story comes to an end, and he is guiding the current Wei leader, Sima Yi, who, you know, turns into the Jin Dynasty. He's the current leader, and he's just showing him around the castle, basically showing him all the traps, and, you know, hey, don't touch the wall, you might hurt yourself, you know, kind of thing. And, you know, at the end there, he traps him in there. You know, he's kind of like a programmer, right? He had his white hat on for a second, and he trapped everybody in there and put his black hat on and was like, all right, now try to break it so I can figure out how to make it even more impenetrable. So now let's talk about his voice, weapon style, and just overall how I felt about the character, and then you guys can let me know in the comment section, you know, how you guys feel about him. For me, again, the voice, I don't care. All new characters, the voices are fine. It suits his look just fine. I don't have any problems with the voice of Man Chong. Now his weapon style, which is the shooting blade spears, I don't really agree with that. Like, I understand the magical component of the game. Zhuge Liang's always had the magical component with his fan and all that stuff, and Sima Yi has even been dipped into that compartment as well. But I just am not a fan with Man Chong. I know he's a strategist, and he's probably not a big, you know, warrior or battle, but he could have, you know, if they could have given him something else. I'm not a big fan of the whole explosion thing, even though that is his main thing. You know, that actually is his special attack. But I'm not a fan of it. In my previous analysis videos, I like the traditional sword, spear, even bows, man. I've always preferred that, more of a hack and slash versus, you know, standing 20 feet away and you can just blast away 100 troops. So not as realistic and not as traditional as some of the older games, but, you know, that's okay. It's his first appearance in a Dynasty Warriors game. I like his character. I think he's a really cool character. He's, you know, a very overthinker and analyst. That's the attribute you want for a strategist, especially at that time. And he's also got that, they also gave him that, like, joking character. But other than that, I mean, decent character. I like playing as him, besides the weapon style. I mean, I can't complain too much. It wasn't too bad, but again, I'm not a fan of the whole explosion and stuff like that. I'm not going to play any more clips of it, but the reason I said he was intuitive, because throughout the entire game, I mean, it was just riddled with just a lot of lines tailoring around the, you know, like, he was like, oh, this doesn't seem right, or like the Battle of Wan Castle, he was like, why is Cao Anmin and Cao Ang asking for reinforcements from Wan Castle when they asked, you know, friendly, you know, he was catching on to things. The only thing he didn't catch on to was the Battle of Chibi, and he was actually one of the first new characters that actually had 2 major cutscenes within his story. You know, none of the other ones that I've done so far haven't had major cutscenes like that. So it was pretty cool to see that he was really involved with the, you know, Wei army, and he was a pivotal component of the army. So that definitely shows you the importance of Man Chong's role. So, but other than that, like I said, just his weapon style is just not for me. Honestly, it's just not. I'm not into the whole magic thing, just like I've explained. But other than that, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope it was somewhat entertaining. If it was, I definitely appreciate a like, comment, or subscribe. I'm going to be doing more character analysis videos. He is number 86th. But other than that, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.